Today, composing an image grid, a split screen, or a video wall in Premiere Pro is a work of art. Position each clip by hand, adjust the scale, crop, and align the images, gutters to the pixel, then start again as soon as you change a cell. And I'm not telling you how long it's going to take you to animate all of this with keyframes. Well, I'm very happy to introduce you to my new plugin for Adobe Premiere Pro, GridWall PRO, which we can handle all of these tasks personally for you. All you have to do is draw the grid you want. You then carefully arrange and stack your clips on separate tracks, and then apply your custom grid layout. Are you interested in learning how to do this? Come on, I'll show you. First, this plugin is available in French and English without reloading the panel. The first step will be to select the tracks on which you want to make this. Take a look at the interface layout. For example, right here, we have 2 video tracks. Well, I'll be able to easily select and adjust the number of tracks, consisting of either the columns or the rows. For this demonstration, let us take 2 columns to serve as our primary example. I will then just have to apply and automatically see that the 2 tracks are arranged as exactly what I wanted. If I'm not completely satisfied with the result, well, this time I'm going to switch 2 of them, video shots on top of each other, and I apply. What's interesting is that you will be able to make the grids more complex, either by increasing the number, for example here, of columns. I apply again, and you see that there I had 2 tracks disabled. I'm going to reactivate them. I select all 4 tracks and apply this specific and recurring visual pattern. But it actually extends quite significantly much further than that, since you will also have the opportunity to make your grids even more complex. For example, by merging or splitting certain cells of this. If we navigate over here to the 3 columns, as you can see, well, in this specific workflow, I'm going to be able to carefully select the first and second items, combine them into a single unit, and then proceed to pick the 4th and 5th elements to merge them together as well. All I need to do is apply this model one more time. But what if I'm not happy with the final result? Well, I can go ahead and select the front page, perform a split on it, then select the 5 and perform another split on it, 2, 3, and I'm merging 3, 4, and combining these elements together. Then I apply the changes to the project. One other interesting particularity to note, you will have the ability to incorporate both gutters and margins to effectively distance your videos from the edges of your canvas. For example, here I apply a margin of a value of 2%, and I will go ahead and apply that. If you would like to do so, you can also apply smoothly rounded corners to the edges. You apply again, if you ever need to apply highly specific formatting to a cell. Well, this feature is going to allow you to do that quite easily. To do this, you will simply need to select your cell. A specific panel will open, and at that time, you will be able to check this box by saying that you are going to put a particular setting in this. Now, looking at this cell, I'm going to go ahead and completely reset the rounded corners here, and then I will go ahead and apply this. I should be able to easily do exactly the same thing for this very last one as well. I also carefully detach and then manually reset the corners. Now, you might be inclined to tell me a grid like that is perfectly fine, but if it could somehow be animated, it would be even better. Well, rather than developing this animation part as well, I simply went to look for the professional looking video transition effects that exist natively in Premiere Pro, and I successfully integrated them directly into the form of input transitions and generate the output transitions with here a perfectly balanced sharing of the entire overall duration. Then you just have to simply and easily click on this specific list and make your final selection. And then also, in order to apply for this specific position, you can see that currently the 2 that we have chosen to format separately do not have just that effect. If I ever uncheck this box and then there is the 4th one also, the box for the front page, that once you apply this specific effect, well, right at that specific point in time, they will have the exact same animation as every single one of the other cells. Specifically, if you wanted to animate these cells separately, again, you will be able to check the box and then simply choose the different type of transition that you would like to want to apply to this particular cell, and then apply. I've also gone ahead and made it easier for you to organize and manage all of these effects, since in this impressive from the list, you'll have the possibility to manually drag and drop some specific favorite effects into your favorites for much quicker access later. All you have to do is click on the star and automatically the effect will automatically move up into the upper section dedicated to these so-called favorites. If you simply want to add another one here, if you want to save this as a favorite to look at later, you will just have to click right here on this specific area of the screen. Now, I am going to go ahead and add a third one to the list. And next time, I'll just have to go ahead and choose one of the three that I manually moved into this specific section. Let's apply the same effect everywhere. So you're going to tell me, but next time when I need to remake this model, will I have to start from scratch? Well, no, because I also suggest you save. You can use these available templates. If you look at the very lowest section of this current screen, you will easily be able to assign a unique and specific name to this new preset. And then, once you are ready, you will be able to navigate your cursor over and click on Save. If I decide to reset the layout with a classic grid of 2 columns and then apply those changes, well, you will see that I will just have to go ahead and make one final adjustment. Select the specific model from the list, then load it, and then go ahead and apply it. So for instance, if you had a vertical sequence in for a 9:16 aspect ratio, for example, well, this specific software plugin is also perfectly compatible with this type of canvas orientation. Let's take a very classic grid layout, for example, where we have these 2 distinct horizontal lines. Here, you can clearly see that I have a separate third track. Well, I can switch to a template, it should look exactly like this example, but configured with just one single column and 3 separate rows. And then I will go ahead and apply these settings. If you find that you now want to specifically highlight a certain area, for this particular track, I add a 4th line. I just highlight 1 and 2, and then combine them together. I apply the product, and then I can do the opposite again. I separate, I select the 3 and the 4, and after we merge, I will then have one last opportunity to finally apply for it once more. One last little thing. If you ever have to switch from one platform sequence to another, you can see that here the preview does not update at all compared to what we currently have on the program monitor. Well, I've made the refresh button available to you. If you click on it, automatically it will show you the grid that is going to match the template that we currently have right now. The same thing happens if I go to the vertical part of the screen. I refresh, and automatically, you see, shows me take a look at the current grid again. If you want to keep this model, then you just have to go ahead and save it for later. Nice, right?